All right. Okay, holy ones. Mochiwa. Let me make sure I get my live going. I forgot to put that real quick. Public. Now. Now. There shall be congregation. Yes. So this is my live. I welcome you, brothers and soul transmission. Let me make sure everything's going. It says excellent connection. It's public in my microphone. Okay. Sometimes you have to deal with the 3D technical issues. So, I thank you for coming to this congregation. We're coming together in a like mind, a like spirit. And this is a message for both religion and spiritual people, because, we have a little bit of different take, perspectives on, this topic. But we can still be peaceful and get along, you guys. I'm not going to judge your beliefs, and so when we start talking about stuff about Jesus and Christ consciousness, well, hello, we have to come into a dialogue. We're coming into you would say, a discussion, and so let's be peaceful. All right? Thank you for being here on my live. Shining light in the house. And it's because of her we're having this live. Jim Hardy with you again, Holy One. Yeah. Connor Sides Bowen. All right, Super Vato. Yeah, from Pittsburgh. Thank you for representing Pittsburgh. Elijah. Oh my gosh. Thank you, Holy One. Yeah, this is my new one. Anything with feline, with cat, is for me a connection to my Lyran roots. Yeah. But not only, right? We also got Jason. Yeah. Tammy. Oh my gosh. Damon sending you love. Watch you. Thank you. Maharic Shields activated. Sean, yes, you know what's up. Machiwa. What's up, Holy One? Jess, another member. Thank you for being a member. Hache. Shining light in the house. Thank you for being a member. It's like a honor to be here with you guys. And one of my favorite topics, talking about Christ. We speak about Christ. All right, holy ones. And we know as Christ as this holy figure. Okay? This is being represented. It's not, only certain religions. Different religions, actually, are believing in Christ, following Christ. So, spirituality, there's a group of us as well. We have a different message, and this is we are transparent, and this is called the innerchristos. Okay, so you can call yourself a Christian if you want to, holy ones, because we do talk about the Christ. Okay, and so we're going to talk about our point of view, and that's all it is. We're not judging anyone else or anyone else's beliefs, but we know, and we talk about it, others will judge you, judge us. So, and that's okay, because we expect it, and we just continue standing in our Christ, standing in our light, representing our spirit, our energy, okay? Because you guys realize you came in here. You're born into this period representing this race, this who themselves represent light, which is law of one, innerchristos, law of one. That's what I stand for, and that's what I am speaking. And so some of you, obviously, I have now over 9,000 subscribers who agree. Usually you agree when you subscribe to someone's chikaya. I call it a transmission. This is a transmission of spirit. I'm sorry, guys, I gotta drink my tea because this is part of my medicine. I mean, this is actually green tea with Anisha. I don't know how to say that correctly. It's kind of late, but I always end up being able to fall asleep lately, so I'm gonna go I have 2 cups of green tea a day to help me with my smoking lung issue. So that is part of lung detox for me. But you also gotta, it's been raining, so I haven't been able to do my walks. I want to get back to my walks because that's a little bit of cardio that you want to do if you have that issue, you guys. So anyways, we're talking about Christ consciousness. How you doing? Let me catch up with our hellos, our greetings, our vatos. We have El Kabong. Greetings, Holy One. Good to see you. Savage Mimis. What's up, Savage Mimis? Mimis. You've got lots of love in Pittsburgh. Yeah. Right. Savage Mimis, Holy One. I love you guys so much. What's up, cool cat Glenn? All right, Jesheua. So, I'm so happy to meet some of you. Some of you are contacting me and sharing your stories. Thank you so much for that, you guys. Because we actually activate each other. So, we speak to each other. We exchange on a subtle level, okay? Because we can speak and we can chat, but realize our higher aspects are also engaging. We are, multidimensional beings. And so this whole Christ consciousness has to do with that. Because imagine that there's several levels of consciousness, all right? And one of them is called Christ. And it's the 12th dimensional consciousness. And you know that you're in 3D, so that's 12D. And this is a high level consciousness that we teach about the multidimensional reality, and it's about a falling that has happened, that has taken place in our people. Our people as a race, part of it, not all of it, but part of our race fell from a higher level. And that level, we were angelic, okay? You wouldn't call us angels down here, but the fact of the matter is we do come from them. We do come from those beings, and one of the things that religion doesn't speak about, generally speaking, are dimensions of reality, levels of reality. Now, there's not a hierarchy in God, so to speak. We're not saying anything about value. Like, everyone's equivalent. Everyone's part of the field of God. And we call the unified God as a consciousness. That is a boy God or a female goddess. That's polarized, you guys understand. Gender is a small, kind of like a beginner's type of experience. This is a polarization. You have to see yourself as androgynous, that you are a being that is feminine and male. Not just one, not just the other. It's not about the topic of today's show, but realize that you eventually evolve. You evolve out of this polarization, and you unify and become one being. Because you're literally part of a whole being, okay? So it's actually kind of beautiful. We come together, unify the whole. So that's one big distinction I have with religion, is we don't talk about that. Everything is equal, and it's part of a whole, and it has to do with consciousness, biology, and spirit. Eventually you think male and female, so it's not really a distinction. It became a splitting. It became a distinction between your being. Well, you unify that and move on beyond gender. And you actually move beyond body By the time you get to the Christ consciousness level, you go beyond body, honey. You go beyond gender. And so does God, obviously. God is not a boy, father, Christ, okay? There's many Christs. Remember, it's a race. And Jesheua, Jesus, what people call Jesus Christ, is a Christ, is from the Christed level. He's actually what you call Indigo type 1. This is a major Indigo child. And we speak about these beings who are coming incarnate. As you know, even in your religion, Jesus, spirit incarnate, came to earth. Jesus was already there. The spirit of Jesus comes into Chimakaya. You could say downstepped itself to incarnate here. So this being is actually a 48 strand. Jesus, Sananda, we call the guardians that we talk about, that we follow, that we speak from, are the Jesheua Sananda Melchizedek, which is a density 4 avatar. And we talk about that Christ as also a body. So you're a body, a consciousness. This is what you are. And you don't look human anymore. You don't have even arms and legs like this. We don't look like this. That is before humans existed. Another time frame where you're not around yet. You're seeded into density 3. So there is no human looking beings up there. You become different shapes. You become different matter form. And that's why you can make a distinction between these spirits as actual aliens with different matter forms. These are angels, you call angels, a level of consciousness, a level of this spiritual evolution. And by the time we get way up to the Christed level, understand, these Christed beings, these indigo children, these starseeds, are coming in from that level and beyond. All right? So we are a consciousness that once was here, but now you could say is absent, has been absent, but now is returning. Christ consciousness is returning on earth, and many of you are part of that. Amachiwa, omakayiwasi, motsutute chache, makapechi umahana. So this is one of those lives that I didn't plan. Hello, what's up? Thank you for being here, holy ones. I love you and your beliefs. Peace to you. Hopefully you give peace back. Mo'ache. Ah, shining light. Thank you for sharing. Malik Bus. Cool vibes, holy ones. What's up? Class. Alright, class. Soul brothers and sisters. And when we say soul, I usually, when I write it, I capitalize it. Because soul is a higher level of consciousness. A more evolved level of yourself. Multidimensional self that exists now. Maybe you're not aware of that yet, but you can be, you shall be. Alright? Because we awaken that awareness within ourselves. And it actually has a memory to it. An identity. A realization. You just keep on going up Jacob's ladder. There's that number again, 12. It's not 10 tribes, it's 12 tribes. Always has. That is that sacred number. When you got the Olympian gods, 10 this, 10 that. Hello, wrong code. Amachua, it's 12. Makats. So we are part of that 12 tribe. You are one of these tribes. You are Chi Maku. In this drama, you're this guard. You're coming in and what's up, Kryst? Give me 5 Kryst. Okay? There's many of us. Well, not like many compared to 7 billion, but millions. There's millions of us Kryst beings returning. And when you have 12-dimensional consciousness coming to Earth, things change. There's a separation of the human race with consciousness. Some are serving love and light and evolve. And then there's ones who serve darkness and de-evolve. So you have this separation happening because we're at the end of a planetary time cycle. The Guardians call it an Uego cycle. And this is a huge period called 26,556 year period. And so in that period, there's 2 ascension cycles. So we can say ascension cycle 1 happened a hell of a long time ago, way back in 22,000 plus BC. And then now we're in this one, the ascension cycle at the end. So we are in ascension cycle number 2. Okay? So this is when Earth ascends as well. Earth ascends, and then some of us are ascending with Earth. You're going through your ascension. Only because the planet's going through her thing. You're on her body. So we are going to go through something, whether we're following a spiritual path, awakening or not. You won't have spiritual changes, but you're going to have like life experience changes manifest that aren't going to be good, and you don't even know what the F is going on because your references doesn't cover it. You've been following these systems that are sort of negative, not loving, and then this is a distortion. When you have a bunch of distortions going on in your life, well, it can make life very dangerous and unpredictable. You're not in control because you're not focused in your consciousness, and something is guiding it. Jesheua. So you realize that Jesus was a 12th dimensional Christ conscious being, and so he rocked the world when he came here. He was a master indigo. There's indigos, but you would say there's, more advanced ones beyond normal indigos. Because we actually have 3 types of indigo children. And Jesheua is what you call type 2 or type 1. There's type 2s and type 3s, and most of the indigos, most of them are indigo type 3s. But there's a lot less indigo type 1s and a very few indigo type 1s. 2s and then 1s, sorry. And that's what Jesheua is 1s. And we've been coming incarnated over time, progressively, always around the ascension cycle, Uego cycle. Alright, it's called the Stargate activation cycle, and the midpoint, just the midpoint of this long ascension cycle is 2017. So we're a little bit past midpoint. You can see it's going to continue for a few thousand more years, literally. So we have things that can happen between now and then. So this is a spiritual war. Even in the religions, they talk about a spiritual war between angels, archangels, but even higher beings. That there's simply things that the Bible doesn't talk about, like aliens and different dimensions of reality. Okay? It doesn't mean they don't exist. It means that the Bible didn't cover it, or whatever your answer may be about that. But we certainly, one thing I will disagree with is most bishops or cardinals or official ranks in the church say that they say the Bible says that the world is only around 10,000 years old or less. So you're always getting this number like we've only been around for a few thousand years. Hello, no. You look at dinosaur bones. What's up? Fossils that are much older than 10,000 years old. What does that do? Okay, so I don't think so, Holy Ones. We're actually, from the Guardian information, we learn about our heritage as going all the way back to 560 million years ago. And when you start considering a multidimensional reality, then you're going to have different history in Dimension 3, which we're in. You're going to have humans in Dimension 4. That's another huge history. Dimension 5. And you got to understand that the time cycles start over. So I made a diagram where you can see that there's like stacks of histories. So those are histories that you don't hear about. That's why we're 560 million years layered in all these different timelines and periods and dimensions. So we have different selves. You, me, all of us, brothers and sisters, have other selves. That's another thing your Bible doesn't talk about. Some spiritual systems talk about reincarnation, but that's a limited. Out of the full view and understanding, that's a limited point of view. You're more than just some, I die and now I'm this person and then I will die and there will be a different. No, there's these beings, there is no time like this. You're all happening at once. This is all happening simultaneously. All your other identities. Okay? So there's more than just here, earth, heaven, and hell. So we go way into as many as 15 dimensions of reality. The Kryst is at 12. The 15 dimensions are the greater collectives that are part of this creation. That God, that the Ascended Masters have created life, have created and seeded races on different planets, and they are round, not flat. Okay? God is actually spherical within spheres, or you could say like more like this. So it's more like egg-shaped, but you realize it's not flat. So we even all the planets are round. It's like you are expanding your identity and awareness and perception. This is an advanced spiritual system on your planet. We teach a sacred spiritual science. It has physics. We talk about these scalar mechanics and how you use consciousness, to affect your present reality and future realities. You can even make changes to your past realities. It's all energy, vibration, and you become a master of it. You become knowledgeable how it works. You learn about your psychic energy centers, and it's a reality. You may not be experiencing this reality because you haven't actually trained it. You haven't opened your psychic centers. You can do that consciously, or maybe you just came into this life with it activated. Otherwise, others have to activate it. So I can say about myself that I became activated about 6 or 7 years ago. I was interested in spirituality before that, but I didn't become activated until like that period of time. And then my whole life changed. It was like a freaking out of nowhere activation, and suddenly I am psychic. Well, it's kind of like this. Even as a child, most of us are psychic, but the 3D world, our parents, our teachers, our bosses, co-workers, whatever, other parts of reality are kind of like controlling, guiding our reality, our experience. Well, hello. That's a vampiric system. You become your own. You realize God is not outside you, not some external being. That is, you guys, this is like a being who's cut off. You shouldn't be, because it's a distortion. Now we have a distortion in our consciousness. Does your Bible talk much about consciousness? Because we do. When you can sit here and close your eyes and go into meditation, see complete darkness, and then start visualizing colors and images or receive them, hello, that's a different person. This person is not aware of those things. You're practicing it daily. Or not. Okay? It's a reality. Just because you haven't activated and felt it doesn't mean it's not real. And doesn't mean your Bible covered everything. That's why it is okay to seek knowledge outside of your religion. Okay? Some will call that a sin against God. Hello? You are God's sovereign free. God is everywhere. You're part of God. All are part. How can everything is a creation of the Creator? Everything started. You do agree that God is eternal and God always was. God always existed. And you weren't? Hello, God created your people. All of them. God created your race, your people, your planet. If some of that became dark, it didn't stop being God's creation. You're inside of God always. You're within the unified consciousness, awareness, you would say the thoughts of God. You're in the God's creation. You can't be outside omnipresent God, the Creator. You're a creation of the Creator who is always outside you. None of you will become outside and separate. But in religion, they think you are. This is a different conscious, like a perspective, point of view. We see God, everything within God, everything is God, and this concepts that, these are evil ones, these are sinful ones, these are righteous ones. See, holy ones, that you are all inside God, the omnipresent Creator. Your creations never stop being a creation of God. You're always originally one with God. You never stopped. You never left God in the first place. So this is our point of view. We love you and your point of view. And so we teach the law of one. This is a consciousness, and you can learn about consciousness, holy ones, and you can figure out and find out, discover what is Christ consciousness. And no, we do not represent some new age, woo! I realize this is a sacred spiritual science. We will talk about the physics. There is physics in God. God is tangible. These mystical schools don't want it to be tangible. They want it to be mysterious. And you will get even people giving you advice. Oh, you're not meant to tell all people this knowledge. It's supposed to be secret. Hello. All are God, Holy One. All this is one being. Okay? You're not outside of that. You're with us. We're all with it, with the one. You say atonement. Exactly. We say at one mint. All are one. If you think about it, it's quite beautiful. Creator creates and creations create. And those creations create. It's a dimensional fragmental consciousness, unified field. Notice the word unified, unity, uni, one, unity, together. This is unity consciousness. Christ consciousness is one. The realization that, and then when you realize that, you start treating all as God. Even chickens and pigs and cows are God. Okay? Hitler is God. This is creations of creations of creations. God allowed itself free will, gave itself free will. I have free will. You have free will. You're creator. You're creating experience. You're creating thoughts. Hello, creations of Creator. Always. Some of them became naughty, evil. They're still in the Creator. You can't go outside of Creator. Understand? So this Christ consciousness understands this, sees this, brings this unity amongst those who have no idea what is unity, who are fragmented and angry and judgmental, have war, have this atrocities. Look what you're capable of. But we're also telling you, hey, this is also another part of you. Maybe you were not told about this in your Catholic Church when they're sitting there in 325 AD. What? Are you hearing these words? I'm speaking to you. In 325, that's the year 325 AD. Check it out. Look it up. In 325 AD, are you hearing this message? The Bible was changed. It's official. From what? Where's the original? In 325 AD. I said it a few times now. Look it up. There's this council, a Roman council affiliated with the church. The Council of Nicaea, they call themselves. Are you still listening? The Council of Nicaea changed your holy book. It's 2022, so that was like, whoa. Not 1,900, like 2,000 years ago. And you're like, what? 20 years old, 30, 40, 50 years old. But, 2,000 years ago, what? Well, that's to say in 325 AD. So this is something important to be aware of, to investigate. Hey Google, what happened in 325 AD? Or whoever your AI is called. We got different AIs, and you can even change them now, right? You can have a different voice and stuff. Some of you want the male voice, or some of you want the female voice. Some of you want the English accent or the cowboy accent. But let me finish this. Almost finished this. Even if you don't think the Bible was ever changed, what are you talking about? There's already how many editions? How many different versions? Google, how many versions of the Bible are there? Huh? Really? Yes. So, whoa. Lots of versions. Why? Lots of different Christian churches. Lots of different versions of the book and different types of beliefs. Why? Why is that? Why is it? What? What's going on? So, why is it written? Well, it was a Hebrew God that started all this, and then it comes from the Hebrew language. Oh, but not anymore. It's in different languages, different versions, different churches. What? Okay, so how could it be so many versions? Did God make a whole bunch of versions? What? There's only one version. Why? Okay, ask yourself, why is there different versions? Okay, here's the next question. Why is your version correct and all the others are wrong? And they're saying the same thing. They're saying you're wrong and you're a different version. But to them, you're wrong and you're a different version. But you're right. No, they're saying they're right. But you're right and he's right. What? You're both right or both wrong, or one of you's right, one of you's wrong, but you're right. What do you mean? There's a whole bunch of other religions. What about them? They're wrong and you're right. Yes, our God is right and their God is evil and wicked. You're talking about that religion. You're evil. You're demonic. You know. You know. I was Christian. I know what's up. I was raised as a kid, since a little child, as a Christian. I know what's up. I know the Bible stories and the Bible verses and all this, and how they act and how they judge. Even when you're a kid, you got these telling you these things as a child. Wow, man. And then you get to watch how they put down women. The man of the house, so you see this. Or maybe you don't, because it's so normal to put down women. Women came out of the rib of the holy male. What? It's equal. It's a half of a whole, not a 2/3 of a third, or 3/4 to a quarter, or whatever you think women are, because you came out of just the rib of the man, and you're the king of the castle. And what? Why is this religion making what? So you realize when we talk about this, and you don't become, no more body. You have carbon matter, you have crystal carbon matter, then you have silicate matrix, a crystal matrix. You don't have a body. You are now pure consciousness, and you realize there's no genitals because you have no body, and you don't have arms, you don't have legs. You don't look human. You're a different creature, a different structure, a different DNA, a different consciousness, a different spirit. But no, you just have heaven and hell and earth. Nope, there's more. And maybe this book and all the other books that were not put in but kept out, but still called a group of the Bible that didn't make it into the Bible. You got Book of Enoch. What? What's that? Look at what that's talking about. How come that's not in the Bible? Now it's like fringe. Now it's like suspicious. Now it's, not the word, not the truth. You will find truth. You will find guidance within yourself when you are serving light, when you're serving all our God, law of one, when you're serving others in this world, not as a sacrifice. Understanding as a communion, you would say, you're in communion with all the holy ones. You are all the parts of God, and you just align yourself with this consciousness, and you realize it. Not a faith. It's a knowing. It's a being. It's a way to think. It's a way to live. You just be this light. You just shine your love, unconditional. Okay? If this religion or this belief system doesn't serve you, then you move on. I had to move on because I was stuck in this dominion, inside of this slavery, this guilt, in this fear. I remember being fearful as a teenager and little kid, learning about these terrible things. How this, whoa, you're not meant to be afraid. There's something wrong with a being trying to make, any being trying to make you afraid. And just because your great grandmother, grandfather, Adam, Eve, did some horrible thing, oh, now you're punished. Now you are this horrible creature. So, you know, and you see us and we don't act good, but hello, there is a darkness that influences, that distorts. It is a race. It is beings who chose with their free will, because God gave all free will, whatever you're saying about angels. Okay, so we talk about angels in a different way, and they all have free will, because God gave, it is all free will system. It's in the Emerald Covenant. It tells you everyone agreed. Like the ones who started this system, seeded it, they had to agree. And that agreement, like, is called the Emerald Covenant. So all of the races that were going to create races agreed. But there's races that use their free will to go against the guardians, to go against all are one, the law of one. No, we have some war god that is your god, creator god. And he's angry. Oh, not just angry, he's burning anger. Wow, damn. Because you know when you're spiritual and stuff, you don't go around with burning anger, dude. Are you kidding me? And you certainly aren't trying to get revenge and trying to slaughter people and wipe out races. You know, there's something wrong with that consciousness. If you go on a spiritual path and start acting and behaving like this, what do you think is going to happen to your life? You know, the saying, live by the sword. You know, you're on a path of anger. Wow, how far do you think it's going to get you in your spiritual expansion? You're not expanding, honey. You are actually against expansion of consciousness. You're against life. You are trying to feed off of it. Siphon energy. When you, angry? Okay. You're calling yourself religious, good, or you're spiritual, loving, but you judge and you do this. If you're going to be spiritual, speak it. Do it. Be an example. Was not Jesus your example? Look how Jesus spoke and did things. And remember, we don't agree with all those stories, and that's okay. But in general, you understand, Jesus was following law of one. Jesus wouldn't want anyone to worship him. Are you kidding me? He wasn't teaching that. And realize that the guardians, in our history, you will discover that this is, you would say, interception of fallen angelics, but you can call them dark aliens, multidimensionals. Remember, there's many reality fields? Well, they're coming from high dimensions. Just like your spirit incarnates into a body here, reincarnation, well, so do these aliens. And believe it or not, some of these aliens are part human, part alien. So they look like you, and they're with us. So, and some of you are born into these races. That's a hybrid human, hybrid reptilian, or Anunnaki. This is part of the Kryst drama. Our race is Christed ones, as 12-dimensional beings. This is part of the human thing. This is not really even our war. Remember, we come out of density 2, out of 5 densities. We're just the lower one. No, density 2 would be right here. So we're like low level still, compared to a density 5 being. So you really got to take in consideration what these beings are, man. And you're some of you are these beings. Maybe you find that the religion is a little bit distorted. Maybe you'll find in your heart it won't feel all right. You're not right with that judgment part. Okay, because we believe that God is love, consciousness. This is the unconditional aspect of God. There's no exception to unconditional love. Because when you have a God saying you must do this and this and this, and you must fear it, this God. Let me ask you this: would any of you want to raise your children on fear? Put them in fear. Why would some loving being, loving parent, loving creator be like this? Create you and then punish you after giving you free will. It's like your parents reneging on you. They said, oh yeah, you can do that, and then you go do that, and then you get punished. Oh, you have free will. Go ahead, honey, we trust you. And then you go do something they don't like. Oh, whoa! What the hell kind of consciousness is this parent? Unconditional love, you don't change that. You didn't stop loving. And you gave these beings yourself. You gave these races a free will. You have free will, honey. Jesheua. Oh, no, you don't. No, you don't. What are you doing? Oh, yeah, you have free will. What the hell? No, that's not free will. That's not a free will choice. Oh, what? You know, you get punished and beat. What you said I had free will. Jesheua. So, you know, this is things you think about or not. Because some people like an angry God. You're gonna go into the lake of fire. You know, it's like twisted. Not loving, not spiritual, not unconditional joy. What's joy? Bliss? Okay? Kindness? I mean, is there a word for the opposite of judgment? I don't judge you, I praise you. You know, not worship, but we're saying, hey, this person's, you know, wonderful. You should be their friend too. They're a great friend, person, trustworthy, loving, sweet. You know, so, oh, that person is judging you. Oh, you're not worthy. Oh, you're too this or too that, or you're not this or you're not that. Whoa! Unconditional love, and it's natural. You don't put on an act and smile but think dark things. It's natural. You should be feeling naturally loving and sweet and kind. And you know, if you're not speaking light, acting like light, then it's on you, honey. People see that. They know you're bullshit. Excuse my language. That's BS. We call BS on you. You're not acting and speaking and hello, there you go. Oh, you like to say these things in a social platform? Okay, I'm responding to you with this Christ consciousness. Seeing from the law of one, it is this light. You shine your darkness, your ignorance, your attack, your judgment, your preaching, this negative energy is vampiric, and you don't see it because you're vibrating this. You're into it. You praise it. You worship it, man. To some darkness like this. It's a black magic. It is a casting over you. A false creed that has a list of bullet points, including that putting down female. You want to know what that does when you put down part of your race? Achiwa. Look how you think. Chikamataya. God is not a patriarchy. God is not a matriarchy. It's not a boy, it's not a God. It's a consciousness. And you do say it. It's a unified field. It's an intelligent being that is continuously evolving. Through us, downstepped itself from way up here, the final expanded, you realize creation. This is creation. Well, creator, it made this creation, and that's why it's called creation. And all are in creation. And you're that. You are creator. You are God. And it's not a sin. It's not blasphemy to say, I am God. It means you understand this. And when you say, no, you're not God, you don't understand this. You see only this. That's the only part of reality that you see out of this. You don't see the rest. You deny the rest. You're denying God. You're denying Christ because you only see this. A lie. That, remember, 325 AD. Did you look it up yet? This is a lie now. You would say half truths. I don't want half truths. No, thank you. I want all the truth. Do you feel it or not? Look in your own family. Look in your family and see how there's different beliefs and different characters and different ways of speaking and thinking. Don't look at the flesh, look at the soul, man. Look at what they're doing. What are you doing? That didn't feel good. You're not being nice. You're being judgmental. You're trying to put me down. You're trying to cut you off. And you, at the same time, you're calling yourself religious or spiritual. I call bullshit. You're not spiritual, are you? You're not being religious, are you? Oh yeah, you are. Machiwa. Because the more that you preach and judge, the more you think you are good. You see how that works? They believe it. They have conviction in this energy. It's okay because their God does this. If you were rooting for some quarterback, if you're rooting for some hero, and that hero is dark, and now you're following your hero's traits, doesn't matter if it was Old Testament or New Testament. It's still the book. Inside your book, inside your history, there's some different information. I was trying to get it out before Christmas, and I realized there was just too much to explain before Christmas time. I said I'll have to do it for next year. But you can see it for yourself in Oceana Dean. You can just look it up. The three Christs. There was three Christs. Of course, only one of them was the actual one. And that's part of the shenanigans of 325 AD by the Roman Catholic Council of Nicaea. It's kind of recent when it comes to history. It wasn't like that long ago. but certainly way before your great-grandpa. Long time ago, where you don't have a clue from that reference point. You just assume this book is completely accurate. Nothing happened to it. What? In 325 AD, something happened. Very important. It's on record. Check it out. And if I put my soul into something, I want to research it. I want to research this and check it out. Oh no, not some of you. Some of you would just say, Chimakaya. It's completely accurate. God is a boy, and women are down here because, and you know, you're bad. You're horrible creature, and stuff. I love you, Jesheua. I sincerely wish you happiness in your thinking and your beliefs while you're judging me. I sincerely hope you're going to get happiness. So, Christ is real. Jesus was real, just in a different form. But when we start getting down to the nitty-gritty, what you believe, when we actually come down to the essence, here it is. Here is what this conversation condenses down into. It comes down to your creeds, and let's observe them sincerely. Your creeds. Oh, these aren't your creeds. I got these out of order. This is the religion's creed. This is what it comes down to when we're going to sit here and talk about what you believe and what you represent. This is what you believe. This is what you represent. And this is what we represent and what we follow. Oh, this is what, you follow. This is your creed, we call a false creed, and here is the law of one creed, all are God. This is again your creed. This is what you preach. This is what you're yelling at people. Some of those priests, or whatever you want to call them, are screaming and telling you how horrible you are. This is your creed, Vato. And this is all our God. We don't have fear and guilt and some wrath and burning anger here. It's on this side. You're on this side. And what is Christ consciousness? Well, let me put this in order. It's a level of consciousness, and it's a race, and it's a dimension, and it's a strand of DNA. While you're on Earth, you're 3D. D3, D1, D2, D3. And you're into mortality and death. Christ consciousness, way beyond angels and archangels, is way up here. These are 12-dimensional beings. And this isn't a representation of the Hebrews or the Jews. This is a sacred geometry. Notice there's two pyramids. It's a 6-pointed star. It's not copyright by religion. This is sacred geometry, honey. It's universal symbol. 2 triangles. And you imagine this as an actual star. A 6-pointed star. 2-dimensional. This is 2-dimensional. You would actually see it 3-dimensional. You don't have arms and legs. This is what you are as a Christ being. This is the truth of your matter form, which is what? Hydroplasm. You're crystal liquid as a Christed being. Let me see if I can find a little picture. You're like liquid crystal, man. You're a crystal liquid being. But you're not going to look humanoid like this. You're going to look like a star. A geometry, a geomantic being. You don't look human because humans they weren't created until they're created from this reality. You're from this reality originally. The hominids came out of what a race called the Lyran Syrian Anuhazi. This is who created hominids. The hominids came out of them. I mean, they're the ones that are the representatives of the first hominids. And so, you're talking about Christed beings? Excuse me. They don't have arms and legs. You don't have a body anymore past 7th dimension. Past 7th dimension, you have no body. You're a consciousness. You're not a boy, you're not a girl. God's not a boy or a girl. God doesn't have a body, man. You can say God's all of us, so there is some form of God with bodies, but parts of God does not have body, does not have form, does not have junk, genitals, or gender. It's a low aspect. It's a low perception to think God is a boy or a girl. God is girl power, boy power. No. It's a low understanding. You think you're gonna be, let me see. The diagrams are out of order. You're gonna go through these races, well, eventually you guys have no gender. None of these races, remember, 7D, these starseeds aren't gonna have bodies. And they're just parts of our Christed DNA. We're a 12-strand, 12-dimensional, 12-chakra being. 12 races inside of us. We're a super race. We're angelic. At our Christed level, the Christ is made of 12 tribes. You're looking at Christ. This is Christ, holy ones. You are a 12th dimensional being. This is who you are, Christ. Coming, returning to earth, speaking it. People on earth, there's some of us speaking this. Not from religion, not from dark beings that you are worshiping. Dark beings. They call themselves Luciferian. It's not a human thing. It's an Anunnaki thing. What do you mean, Davian? We're worshiping Anunnaki? Yes, Vatos. It wasn't limited to the Sumerians. You're worshiping them. You guys think these are your people, man. Oh, you're a scaled reptile? Okay, Vato. Oh, you're an insectoid serpent? Okay, man, you got it going on. You know what's up. Some of you are saying those dragons are cool. Oh, yeah? Hello. These beings are calling themselves Satanists. It's a different family. These are dragons and dinos and avians and reptiles. And over here you got different beings. You just have to look at what they follow and what they talk about, you guys. Whatever religion or spiritual system, check it for the law of one. Check it. Is it this? Your religion, does it do this or does it do this? Just check. Because most religions are patriarchal. They're sexist and put women down. And women accept it. The ones who are following this accept it. Yeah, we couldn't do this without men, or I can't do, the man is the one that is what? Is what? If you want to give your power away, go for it. Jesheua. You are like just in density 1 like this. You guys are 144 lives. Just in this system. You got 144 lives here. Okay, so start adding all those up. Well, by the time you get to all of these systems, you're a few thousand lives. That's what a Christed one is. It's a tribe. You're a family. Not a soul family, because look, this is what a soul family is down here. These are souls. These are the soul families. But you're more than a soul family. You have an oversoul family, aka archangelics. You have avatar families. And all of us are coming from one of these flames. The blue flame, the gold flame, the violet flame. We're all coming out of these. Each one of these created races. The blue flame created the Anuhazi. The gold flame created several races. They created the Omicrons and Odedicrons and the Atheans and the Ceres. But 2 of their races fell. And out of these races came something called an Chromaton that actually became more powerful than him, but that's another story. But we have the Violet Flame who are good. I mean, they haven't fallen. Of course, you're going to have some exceptions, but their races, there's 4 of them, are positive. It's mostly, the wars happening mostly between the blue flame and the gold flame races. These are holy Seraphi, Seraphim. These are holy Elohai, Elohim. It's the Elohim and the Seraphi that started this. Specifically 2 races. The Anu, the Anu started this. It was between the Anu and the Omicrons. These are the 2 races, which is Satan and Lucifer. 2 gangsters, 2 bad races that were falling, that started all of this problem. So that's why the Violet Flame is kind of like out on its own. You know, they're not really involved in this, but they're helping. So I guess you could say they are involved, but most of the discussion is about these reptilians and Anunnaki. So this is part of our drama, part of the Christ drama, because they did this shit, excuse my language, but way up here. This is where they fell and created these problems, which notice is above the archangel level. Most of you think that's the highest level. No, it's not. It's these beings who fell, who became the Anu Elohim. This is a Christ drama. This is between avatars, between our race that fell, who were part. The Anunnaki are actually only half of us. I mean, they're only, genetically, they're only, because the Anu, look what the Anu is. It's a feline, blue flame, and violet flame, aquatic ape. The aquatic ape is coming from the violet flame. So the Anunnaki are not exactly like us, but they're half of what we are, which is the feline part. The Anu Elohim are feline aquatic apes. They simply renamed their race. They didn't want to be called Elohai. And these beings created a race in their dimension, which is the 11th dimension, called the Anunnaki. So they're not feline like their parents, but they created them to look like these dolphin people. Remember, they're from the Violet Flame. So there's dolphins in the Violet Flame. So Anunnaki are actually like dark dolphins, man. But upright, like people. They're upright. And they're from Sirius B. Actually, the Anu Elohim come from planet Vega, but then they went into the Orion system. No, wait. I made a mistake. Sirius system. This is a Sirius system. It is these beings who went to the Orion system from Vega. We're actually not from Vega, but from Armentana. And this race was from planet Avion. So this is our drama. As you can see, we're from the Christ level, so it's part of our drama. But we don't just have problems with the Anunnaki. We have problems with the reptilians, the dragons. This is a spiritual war. And you're following religions that are like this. It's a spiritual war. You're following these false beings. That's why it's called the false creed, because they're the fake God, the fake Christ. They're your creator gods telling you they're your God. And they act like this. Alright. I love you guys. Thank you for coming to my live, learning about Christ consciousness. And I'm honored to have you with me. And we can peacefully disagree. You know, we don't have to. You don't have to agree with anything I say or Ashana Dean work or anything. You can be your own, realization. Thank you. I think it looks like someone helped out. You want to get lit? Dilo, good quest. Thank you, Holy One. You're the King Christos Avatar, Jesheua. Much respect. Thank you, Holy One. And thank you for all who have joined my channel. Not just subscribe, but I'll thank you for that too, you guys. But some of you have gone to the farther in your search. So thank you for supporting Christos Avatar, because it will just help me reach more people. We're trying to start a community. There's a chat platform you can be part of. Or just come and see, check us out. Here on YouTube or on Patreon. If you guys want to contact me, you can through direct message on Instagram and email I put below, or Facebook. Thank you for being here, guys. We can get lit if you want. Yeah. Why not? We can get lit and still talk about Christ, vatos. We're not those judging ones, right? So we can relax and kick back and be evolved. Joyful Jennifer, thank you, Holy One. Sherry, wants to get lit. What's up? Joseph Evola. Love you guys so much. Onenessness, Jason says. Benny Estrada. Yep, we're all in this together, Holy One. You said it. Yeah. Starman, free. Was this the Braveheart? Mel Gibson? At the end, he says, freedom. Joseph Ebola. Jim Hardy. Hello, Holy One. Lady Gaga, fake name. Thank you for being here. Shining light. Alright, Ramu Sauter in the house. Joyful Jennifer, legit. Excuse me, guys. How do we find out what races we are? Well, that's a very, very personal question between you and your soul. You guys know that as we activate the soul, which is 4th, 5th, and 6th dimensional, you bring it in. You're bringing it in by bringing in that chakras, again, 4th, 5th, and 6th. The green ray, it's a cone coming out your chest and throughout your back. The blue ray, cone coming out your neck and through the back, blue. And then the violet ray, or indigo ray, indigo ray. That's coming out your middle of your head. People keep talking about the eyebrows. No, it's not here. It's right here. In the middle of your forehead. Where do you feel it? Okay, there you go. That's where it's at. Do you feel it right here? I feel it right here. I realize it right here. Just saying. Because people will get the location wrong, or they'll get the color wrong. You can say there's not right, wrong. Oh, that was my camera. I'll switch it to the diagram. So let me go to a different photo. Looks like they just came home. So let me switch the battery. Give me 1 second. As I switch it out. I love you so much, you guys. All right. Few more seconds. Here we go. Here we go. All right. That should do it. Let me double check. Oh. There we go. Awesome, man. Angelique Dorsey in the house. Yeah, this is something that you guys connect to inside yourself, and you bring your discernment, and because you better believe that whatever you are following, that there is a lot of pitfalls out there, a lot of landmines out in religion, out in the New Age movement. They're active in this. They're actively on Earth causing this. Not to mention, they're messing with your DNA, messing with your air, messing with your water, your food, your seeds. They're messing with you. They're super intelligent. It's like, you're like in the middle and not aware of everything. That these super intelligent beings who are not all human, you realize that there's human aliens on Earth. You could call that a body snatching, and it's good. When you can take over the race, you're distorting that race's DNA. Realize what this is about. You're getting hit on all of these fronts, man. Not just one. But you're a Christed being. You're supposed to be. We're supposed to be these 12-dimensional beings. Hello. While you're praising the Anunnaki, they've been attacking us in all these levels. Density 1, Density 2, Density 3, Density 4. All the way up there. You call them Antichrist. They're against the Christ. You got ideas and concepts about what is Lucifer and Satan and Antichrist, okay? And that's okay. We bring a different definition to Revelations. You can understand a lot of symbolism there as actual technologies that exist, that these beings will use, have used, giant crystals, alignments with the moon, the planet of another planet, battle star size bases. There's things going on in your solar system. There's fleets. There's motherships. There's alien beings. There's portals. There's dimensions. Most people have a little drama in their life and they don't see beyond what's going on around them. So you'll get haters, you'll get trolls, and false religions and gods and serving something that you think is truth or guidance is actually some antichrist message that will teach you fear and guilt. If you could see the vibration of fear, the jaggedness of guilt, if you could see what that's doing to your vibration, you would say, whoa, this vibration is a god? God feels like love. God feels like joy, peace, grace, mindfulness, friendliness, kindness. That is what is the original intention of God. And when you serve light, you're aligning yourself with the guardians and light. Well, that's how we do it. We own that department. That's our creed. That's the light. You want to switch over to your anger, your judgment, even hate. Some of you hate. You just jump the fence to that side. And you're not being judged by the light and the guardians. But realize what you're doing. This is a spiritual war, guys. And when we talk about Christ consciousness returning to earth, that's us. We're speaking this truth. We're speaking law of one concepts. We're speaking innerchristos concepts, not this patriarchy of guilt and shame. Shame? Man, do you have any nice feelings about yourself? It's a takeover. It's a trick. It's a lie. It's a low vibration. It's a low, dark, aggressive, warlike energy, consciousness, being. And it's right next to the New Testament. It's part of your testament. Your preachers reference the whole book, not some of it. Oh, that's the old God. Hello. It's in your book. It's not taken away. That's a different belief. Like the Hebrews only believe in Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy. That's all they believe in. Everything else is the Christian. So, why? It's originally from Hebrew. Oh, but you got Hebrew God and Hebrew teachings in your teachings. Huh? What's going on? It's confusing. Jehovah God, Yahweh. What? Come on. Where's the girls? Where's women? Oh, they're down there. Hi, girls. What? Princess, I love you. Stand up. Mother, divine feminine, stand up. Hello, what's up? Equal, not down. Then the matriarchy wants to put the male down. You don't get it. You don't get Christ. You don't understand God anymore. Now you're speaking hate and judgment. What? What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you speaking? Are you angel? Are you holy angel? Holy angels are speaking truth, and you feel it. You control, you can keep putting your negative comments in the social media, because that's what your vibration is, honey. Your vibration is this. You attack people, and at the same time call yourself good. Call yourself religious. Call yourself spiritual, even. No, you're not. Hello, my Chihuahua. Stand in your light, Christ. Stand in your truth. Because there is a cleansing. You call it a great transmutation happening. Because that's when a part of the human race goes this way and the rest go another way. It's the physics of an ascension. Ascension is a very mathematical process. There's physics involved, there's numbers involved, there's calculation in this spirit. And when you got some new age concepts about God and Christ, well, hello. There's relativity. You could say there's rules in this creation. Because if you do this, then this happens. You see how that works? Not yet? You don't see that yet? There's relativity. You do this, and on this side, something happens. Reaction. Oh, it's part of the physics. Yeah! So you're angry and hateful and hurting and controlling and manipulating. Hello. Guess what you're going to go through next? Or sometime your soul wants to learn that lesson. You're part of your soul. We explain that science part of that. You learn the planetary, you would say, mechanics. The Templar, planetary Templar. You learn about how the Earth works, how there's dimension 1, 2, and 3 part of her body, and those are different time periods and different levels of your spirit, your incarnation. Your soul projects 12 of you down here. Okay, this is a human experiment. Number 3. That means there was 2 others before us that got wiped out. We're hoping not to be wiped out. As you're worshiping the ones that are enslaving you, well, that doesn't look concerning. That's disconcerting. Wow, okay. So, keep worshiping if you're going to want to, because that will surely lead you to someplace. So there's a bifurcation of humans. Some of you are ascending. Some of you are falling. Most. It's a numbers game. It's a you can calculate. You can measure consciousness on Earth now. Are you measuring? Are you seeing a great brilliance and light spreading quickly around Earth? No. Look how people are in the world. Look what they are. One of the things that I recently did is I made a video about vegans and meat eaters. Man, oh man. Did I just see spewing this low vibe consciousness? There's indicators. Yeah, we're indigos, we're starseeds, we're sparking an awakening. But realize that awakening is a minority, a small part of the population. And when you got Ishmael Perez teaching you that you're all going to ascend, hello, there is false reverse teachings in the world, in the New Age, serving Archangel Michael, serving the Galactic Federation, serving one of these outlets. Okay, you look at their creeds. If you want to say that Anunnakis are Latinos and blacks, okay. That's your belief, that's your idea. This is your awareness. You give this power to this darkness, your civilization falls, becomes enslaved. Wow. What? What? You cheer that. You cheer for war and death. You want something horrible to happen? Oh, but you're a believer. You're safe from that consciousness. Hello. Love, divinity, spirituality is lawfulness, is goodness, is joy, is unconditional love. And you feel it. And you feel when someone's not. Like literally in your body. You know how you get the gut feeling, you get the, intuition. The human spirit can sniff shit out. I smell shit. You know when someone's trying to trick you. Even if you don't understand the details, you feel it. Yeah. It's the same with light. You feel it, you guys. You don't need to be convinced. You what do you feel? How do you react? When I get comments like, oh, your video made me want to go eat more chickens and cows and pigs. Vatos, it's not about meat. That video was not about meat. It was about animal cruelty. But you'll get all of these freaking disgusting comments. And you see the indications of people's consciousness. Hey, you want to know what is needed to ascend? Complete, utter life change. The way you think, the way you eat, the way you breathe, what you do, what you say. So much needs to be changed. Because you are so low vibe in your people, in your race, in your civilization, in your societies, in your values. You're so distorted. Because you are following these dark systems that are not law of one. You are in the guilt systems, in the fear systems, in the control, the manipulation, because these beings need to feed. Their existence depends on tricking you, deceiving you, altering your religion, your holy books, altering your way you look at the female, the way that you practice and treat your neighbor, someone else's beliefs, the way someone looks. You got problems with the way what someone believes in. You have expectations of others. You want others to do what you want to do. Man, do you see a great awakening in people? Why is it that you indigos feel so alienated? Why do you starseeds feel like you don't belong here? It's because of this 3D consciousness, man. It's because of these false religions. Thinking and preaching at you while there's so much deception, so much BS. There's not much light. Are you clairvoyant? Check. Look how much brilliance you see in the world. Check. Because I get lots of feedback from you guys. And I hear a lot of you saying the same thing, that there's so much confusion out there. Why? Because there's so much bullshit, man. You don't know what's true. Exactly. That's the whole point. Like I said earlier, these my Archangel Michael groups, these Arcturians, there's a lot of dark ones. The Galactic Federation, there's councils. And all you have to do is check them on the law of one. It's basic. Look at someone's code, man. What are they speaking? What are they representing in there? It doesn't take some advanced technology or super intelligent person. Look at what they're speaking and doing and being. Is that dictator law of one? Is that president law of one? Is that potential partner a law of one? Do you have discernment? Can you tell? Do you know the difference between an angry, fearful, wrathful God and one of peace and unconditional love and kindness and friendliness? Do you know the difference? Do I have to take a poll and check? How many of you think God is this? So, this is spiritual awakening. We're awakening. We're awakening to all these things you probably didn't realize, that there's aliens and alien humans, and that there's some maybe distortions in my religion. There's all kinds of bad things in your food, in your water. How long have you been knowing this? And so, like, since the 90s, people have been talking about the food, water problems in the air, chemtrails. I can't say those hashtags. I just saw a bunch of things in the sky. What is that? Well, it's not new. And there's things happening in your life, in your planet, in your people. You're so confused. You don't know what is truth. You don't know what is God. You don't know what is Christ. Jesheua. That's what this message is. It's hello. There's something called a Christ consciousness. Hey, here's a breakdown of what Christ consciousness is. It's a dimension. It's a level of awareness. It's a people. It's a DNA. We're showing you the DNA. You're made of the Polarians, the Hyperboreans, the Atlanteans, and the Lemurians. You have 4 races in you. Oh, also the Aryan. So you have 5 races in you. Now, eventually, you're going to have, 12 races in you. But you're just here now. You don't see the rest. You don't remember the rest. Because there's been an attack on your DNA. Not just your air and water and food. Not just your DNA. What? There's been attacks on much of things besides your religion. Because we're freaking humans. It takes a lot to trick the human spirit. They have to keep on bombarding us with stuff. They have to disempower us. They have to confuse you. It's a military strategy. They have to be brilliant. They have to be diabolical. They have to trick you and fool you, make you sick, make you live less, make you have problems with your food and health. Now you're taken in there pills and prescriptions. Now they're giving you stuff into your body. So it's, an ongoing war campaign that you're involved in, stretched over time so you don't notice it. Because they've been saying this stuff for decades. Haven't you been seeing this stuff for decades? It's just getting amped up and more amped up. More sinister. It's a spiritual war, guys. We're in it. I don't like to talk the political stuff, but like that, what's in the air, but let other people do that, because you guys know what's out there. It's kind of like you get busy with your life and you forget about what you're breathing and what you're eating, and you forget about what you're drinking. Oh, you know all these things exist, but you still haven't changed. You haven't changed yet. Are you on a life of change? Which is another way of saying transformation, expansion, evolution. No, you're not changing anything? Okay, so you're not moving anywhere. You're not expanding. You're actually getting worse in your health, getting worse in your emotions, getting worse in money, and what else? Can you see what happens in 5 years from now? How do you think you're going to be in 10 years? Are you approaching 30s? Are you getting into your 40s and 50s and 60s? How is your health care? How is your money? How is your real estate? How is your happiness? How is your health? How are your relationships? Those are all your indicators. I love you, Vato Locos. It's like we want everyone to be feeling love. We want you all to be smiling, successful, not have problems and issues like health. You don't want problems with people in general. We want all our families to be happy, our friendships to be wonderful. Where is all that? There's some real problems, and it needs to be healed. We have to get our shit together, our spiritual affairs in order, start adhering to a protocol of light. Be loving, be friendly, stop judging. It's not based on guilt and sin. It's based on vibration. Wow, go figure. Vibration is universal. I mean, if you think about it, God made this polarized. You got magnetism and electricity, electromagnetic reality fields, scalar fields. It's built in to have this challenge. How can you grow, right? How could you progress without some difficulty? If it was all just smooth sailing and easy, everyone was just winning. Well, it's a simulation. It's a hologram. You would say a spirit learning center with many lessons and levels. It's designed to take an ascended master and evolve itself through us, through itself. Those ascended masters, well, that's what we are. We're them. Inside a bunch of us at once. Trips you out. Because we only think in one mind. No, there's more minds. Instead of having, solar power, you just have one solar panel. Well, have more batteries and more solar panels. You do. more energy, more light, higher frequency, less body. That's what ascension is. It's evolution of body and consciousness and your DNA. You are evolving and bringing in more higher codes. What Ashana teaches in the Kalanta, in this spiritual ascension, what I am teaching and what I've learned is to bring in your higher chakra, your higher consciousness, so that this consciousness can rise. How else do you rise unless you bring in your higher parts? Bringing in your higher consciousness rises this consciousness. You want to connect all the way up to the Christ level, because you want to bring in Christ energy, Christ understanding, Christ consciousness. So you're going to go beyond the heart, throat, and third eye into the 7th dimensional crown, 8th dimensional thymus, 9th dimensional thalamus. Then we got the chakra above your head, and that's the dark blue 10th chakra, the dark gray 11th chakra, a foot and a half above your head, and then the pure white chakra below your feet, 6 inches below your feet. That's your Christ star. That's your 12th chakra, your 12th race, which is an Anuhazi. You saw the diagram, the holy Anuhazi. That's you, human. That's your heritage. That's your identity as a Christ being. But you forgot. And some of our fallen brothers and sisters, these Anunnaki and reptilians, not all of them are bad, but these ones in our drama are bad. Dark. Negative. So they're the ones we're talking about. We're not saying their whole race is bad. As many times as I say it, there's still people making that comment. Oh, not all Anunnaki are bad. I know that. Disclaimer has already been made. We're talking about the bad ones, though, because that's the ones that are affecting us. It's like you were sick and you had some disease, but no one wants to talk about your disease. They don't mention what your symptoms are. And okay, we're not talking about the good ones. We're talking about the bad ones, because there's the ones that have harmed us. Yes, these ones are very dark. So, the atrocities they have done, almost unspeakable, man. And then we have to look at them and say, hey, they're part of us. They're part of our family. What are you doing? We don't understand what they're doing. I mean, we understand, but we're like, hey, we cry out to you, brother, sister, what are you doing? You don't remember this? So you got 12 dimensional Christ beings and a bunch of fallen 11th dimensional, 10th dimensional, and the Anunnaki are 9th dimensional. These beings are, well, obviously they're 11th dimensional, sorry. These beings are the ones trying to fight the Christed ones. We have to travel back in time and incarnate on Earth because they have come here. The fallen dark avatars have come to the Earth. So we have to come to the Earth. If this whole planet was under law of one, we wouldn't need to be here. The humans would be handling business. No. Now there's babysitters here. Now you have free will, and we're not saviors. You know, the guardians don't come and do your chakra work. You still have to do your chakra work. This is part of the physics of ascension. You don't just ascend by being good. You actually have to have the strand, Vato. Do you have your strands? No? Okay. You're not ascending. You're not going to Tara. You're doing the opposite. You're falling to a lower level of yourself. Some of you become disembodied consciousness. Realize what that is? If you get stuck in the 2D field, you have to come alive as an animal. That's the DNA. If that's you can't go into the human DNA that's in another dimension. You would say another conscious DNA, because you're disembodied. Now you have no choice. You have to, and then you get eaten by human because of meat eaters. What the hell? You become an animal, you get eaten by a human. You were human, now you're getting eaten. You die, you become another animal, you become a chicken, and now you get just ate. Your life was very quick. See, that's not part of the human DNA. But when you lose your body, DNA, you became disembodied for whatever reason, because there's different ways to do that. Did you know we have a bunch of disembodied consciousness from our people in the astral because they got blocked from something called the sphere of Amente. They died in density 1 Earth, but the soul is on density 2. So they would come and go back to return to their body, but get stuck in the astral because they're separated from their morphogenetic field. So there was a pulling going on in the astral. That's what a lot of people who are psychic or who astral travel, there's a lot of dark consciousness there. Imagine being disembodied, no body. So there's also a bottleneck of consciousness in the second dimension, where humans are stuck in animal cycles, plant cycles, elemental cycles. Nobody's talking about this, but this is part of the Christos information. It's part of Voyager's Chew. Check it out. Ashiana Dean, Voyager's 2 on PDF. And quite frankly, you activate your DNA, you know this. It's part of your memory. So you get all these ignorant people, disgusting comments when you don't really know what the F is going on. We are building bodies for the disembodied consciousness. So there isn't disembodied consciousness. But you can't create bodies unless our consciousness comes in and creates them. We're picking up you would say, fragments of disembodied consciousness. It's not even complete. It's fragmented in the hologram fields, the hollow fields. And it's getting pulled in the D2 and pulled in the D4 because of the separation of the sphere of Amente, which is no longer optional. It's part of this whole ascension process. Not to mention, you are getting distortions, blocks in your DNA. There's so much, and then you have this knowledge, right? Awareness, and then you see all the bullshit comments that people leave, and they have no idea, no clue. While a guardian has to be respectful and not judge them and not get into an argument and start being negative to them. That's not what guardians do. So it can be stressful for an indigo, for a light worker, because we have to be the good guy. We have to always, that's our creed. That's our creed. You don't just turn off your light. What are you doing? You keep serving light. You keep shining light. And they push your buttons. You go beyond that. You don't get deterred anymore by what people expect of you, what people tell you what you shouldn't do and should do. Hey, you just become God sovereign free. Hey, you always were, but now you realize it. I am God. I am sovereign. I am free. You will not vampire me. Hello. You don't have my permission anymore. I am not going along with your shakaya. Because there's a lot of toxic people, a lot of toxic beliefs, judging beliefs. You're learning a false creed. It's not good creed. It's not loving creed. That's not what you're preaching, speaking. That's not what you're practicing. We're bringing that. These beings had to return. Jesus came to be an example. There was a baby Jesus, and this being taught ascension. We will learn this through Christ. You can learn it now if you don't want to wait, but I will make this video. You can go find out from Voyagers 2. There's a whole nother story about Christ. We got to make that correction, right? We have to learn there's a difference between Jesus and the fact that there's a Christ attached to his name is a reference to his race of people. And we don't come from Earth incarnation. We're coming through Sirius B. It is, you learn that Indigo children are coming through these priests of Azurline. Okay? It has something to do with the Azurites. So we're coming through Sirius B through Stargate 6, SG6, because it's safe, because the fourth Stargate, the Egyptian gate, this fifth Stargate are not safe. They have distortions, and this is why we Indigos come through Sirius B SG6 to incarnate on Earth. So it's very interesting because, you know, as Jesus came through the priest, through in his time it was called the Essenes. He came through the Essenes, and so these are the Indigo children in that time period. Just like here in 2023, we're part of that. Just like Jesus, you came through Sirius B, Stargate 6 to Earth. You first made a soul contract with your parents to bring in this Indigo child. Eventually, there's Indigo parents having Indigo children. Okay? There's generations of Indigos here. But we do incarnate, new Indigos do come in, and it's all because of this ascension. This is our covenant. This is what we do. We come during ascension cycles, and quite frankly, the humans are supposed to be guarding the gates. That's all what the militaries are involved in. The powers that are in power are the ones trying to control that. They're fighting amongst each other. They're vowing for power amongst each other. It's a chess piece, just like they're trying to. They're all in their own territories controlling the humans, but they're all competing with each other. And which is actually different aliens that have these different countries and races. We're all ETs down here, Vatos. We all got some like ET or origins in our junk. They call it junk DNA. It's not junk. It's your X-Men file code. It's your unawakened DNA that you activate. It's scalar. Consciousness is scalar. You live a life. That code, that energy, you bring in from the hollow fields and carry it into your DNA. And then so every incarnation, remember there's 12 of you, and every incarnation is doing its piece. You're bringing them in from living life in all these periods. This is why the twin flame is a New Age concept. you have a male-female counterpart, but that's you. That's not a romantic thing, and quite frankly, you're living in two different time vectors. There's time, there's Uego cycle. Within the Uego cycle is the dimension cycle. 3 dimensions. Within each dimension is 2 time continuums. Within the time continuums are time vectors. You'll live a male in one time vector, a female in another time vector. Twin flames. But the New Age wants to tell you that, oh, you're romantic. You're a flame. It's you. It's not someone else. It's not someone you meet. You can't meet that part of you that's living in another time vector. You see, you're getting a piece of DNA, another piece of DNA. You're not living at the same time because you're supposed to be getting a piece of DNA as a male, a piece of DNA as a female. You can believe in twin flames, okay? The more accurate explanation would be like some type of soul agreement that you made to be with a partner of a certain DNA, a certain race. That's not a twin flame. It's a soul agreement. Some people would call that a soulmate, which you understand, there's a difference. I'm not trying to put down your beliefs, you guys. If you follow that stuff, okay. Just realize that you go beyond gender. Eventually you do. So we love and we like the opposite sex or the same sex. We love and we like to make love. But, you know, even in density 2, we're not doing that. You realize if you decide to have a child, you would do it through a budding process. You don't even need it's not a birth process where you have to have this issues in your body. It's outside your body. Like a sac. So you have the sac and you carry it to term. It's not painful. So, and you're immortal. Life has a total different meaning. Eventually, you guys outgrow gender. You get all this little romantic little stuff out of your system. Because you think about eternal love and soulmates and twin flames and hello, that's temporary, sweetheart. Eventually, you go into those greater levels of existence. And you're this mass, you're this collective consciousness and many frequencies and forms. And you change your form, and maybe you're not a human-looking form. Maybe you're a cloud, maybe you're a planet. Maybe you're a rock, maybe you're a alien with 3 heads. You're not thinking about having sex and falling in love. It's transient. It's temporary, vatos, not something, oh, I have my soulmate all the way up to there. You see? Now there's something called tantric. That's something you just get like a, it's part of joy, it's part of bliss, it's part of being in like this great feeling because it's like, you're like, it's like God is like orgasm when you're connecting without distortion. When you're not without distortion, you're like, it becomes pleasurable. You feel good, you know. So we just in spirituality and in this innerchristos, we learn to expand our identity. And part of your expansion of identity goes beyond body, goes beyond gender. You go into, goes beyond individuality. So it's really hard to relate for humans to think of being immortal being androgynous and being a multitude. Those are leaps and bounds. It's not like you have to understand that all now. It doesn't mean you go chop your genitals off to be androgynous. That's not what we're saying. Your DNA, your shape and body becomes different. You're not eating chicken, pigs, and cows or anything like that. You don't put down male and female. You probably have a bunch of non-males and females because some of them are evolving into androgyny. So you become complete. You become both. You think about it. Androgynous person is feminine and lovely and gentle and strong and masculine, and it is magnetic and electric. A female is this different, and a male is different. Hello, you become greater and better when you combine male and female. You become whole, not apart. Not only magnetism, not only electrical. You become both, right? You don't have a preference because there is no preference. There's only one. There's not two choices. There's a completion of choice. Like a merging. We merge gender. We merge particles with our antiparticle. You become less dense. You evolve into greater. It's like we don't see any much examples of that in our world. Like you don't see that much in movies. You don't see that much in our religions. They're not talking about alien races, DNA, multidimensional consciousness, what the soul is and isn't. It's just so limiting. You want to know this stuff. You want to stop being punked. Some of you have doubts and you developing because you were brought up a certain way. You respected those teachings. Maybe you're gonna change your mind when you start going through your own awakening. Because think about this. Most people are closed-minded to changing their religion. Once they get set, it seems like for life. Oh, I am Protestant. Oh, I am Buddhist. Oh, I am Christian forever. I am, whatever forever. They don't, usually speaking, people don't change it. It's the ultimate. And for most of your life, you rationalize those teachings and you bring them into you because you were born into it. I was probably 5 years old. Probably 4 actually. But when religion was introduced. Were you a toddler? Isn't that weird? Just based on your geography? Based on your geography, you're gonna believe in this. Well, maybe you grow up and start thinking independently and like, whoa, wait a second. Okay, I'm gonna think about God and check and see what I feel. No, you don't have thoughts like that. In general, indigos do. We have in our DNA the law of one. We have lifetimes living the law of one. We know that and feel some distortion. We're the way showers, we're the trailblazers, we're the ones coming in with that DNA. And that's exactly why they attack indigo children. That's why they put you on stuff like Ritalin. They'll send you to a shrink. They'll diagnose you, put you on their drugs. That's the truth, you guys. And why do you start seeing children who are mentally handicapped, challenged, deficient? Something wrong is happening. Especially when you see them like increasing. Like something is developing. Not good. And it's interesting, maybe that's the wrong way to say it, but while people are thinking of them in a bad way, like, oh, those poor children, handicapped children, hello, you don't realize this being is a holy grail, magi, priest king. That's what a holy grail, that's what an indigo child is. Coming, you're a little 3D earth seed, and this being's coming from density 5 or ascended master. Of course they're going to be attacked. Of course the system is designed to serve the fallen ones. The fallen ones are putting you into these societies of control. The societies of, I can't say these hashtags, surveillance. They have to measure you. They have to analyze you. They have to structure you. They're into control. You're not in a free society like you think. Because if you were living in a law of one society where all are God and there's not some freaking dictators anymore, not some governments anymore, and not like this administration, you realize these beings live a whole different way. A different thinking when you're immortal and serving law of one, when everyone's loving each other equally. Why would you even need government authority in that civilization? You wouldn't. But you have it in this world. Something is taking from you. Wow. So it's all related to the spiritual war and these aliens, which are really fallen angelics. I mean, the opposite is true. The fallen angelics are aliens, negative aliens. But you could also just call them the negative aliens are angels, I guess. Vice versa. So the negative aliens, the fallen angels, are the ones that we've been involved with in all of these levels. So the human heritage is rich in excitement and drama. We don't have a boring species, guys. We've been through a lot of shit. Multi-dimensional shit. And the truth about the humans, we're meant to be guardians of stargates. That sounds weird, but that's what we are. Guardians and stewards of the planet, and the guardians of the gates. So that the fallen angelics, the dark aliens, don't take control of them. Because inside of creation, that's how species and consciousness moves into other areas. Through gates. So while there's fallen angelics trying to take control of them, it's the guardians that have, it's part of our covenant to be standing guard over them, over the earth's gates, and we don't have control over all of them now. The Dark Ones have control, for example, of Stargate 4, SG4, and the Giza Plateau. This is part of our dilemma. Because if they have control, it's like Stargate. You do stuff with Stargates. There's science and technologies with Stargates. Why do you think this Stargate? Well, gee, there was a whole race of people that grew up around this Stargate called the Egyptians. No wonder they were so intelligent and advanced, because they're around a Stargate. What is a Stargate? It's an opening of multi-dimensional energy from another reality. If you're in the vicinity, well, interesting. Interesting what's happening in this Middle East. There's a Stargate. Interesting what's happening around the Bermuda Triangle. Oh, there's a Stargate. Oh, interesting, there's a Stargate there in drama. There's a Stargate there in drama. Because there is a drama over gates. So if your ascension teacher, your spiritual awakening teacher, does not talk to you about DNA and Stargates, you're not getting what you need. Amachiwa. Hey, I have to make the observation. Yesterday was almost 4-hour video. What the F, dude? I don't want to do that to you guys again. It's already 8:30. But I did start late. I started at 6 today, I think. Amber, thank you for being here, Holy One. I know not everyone's going to agree with all this, you guys. So I just want to say, like usual, that you don't have to agree with the Guardian information. You don't have to agree with everything I say or Ashiana says. And there's probably something that you guys might like about my information, but you don't agree with everything. And that's okay. I follow this information and I teach it. I want to have that point of view, that perspective. So when you hear it, well, that's just a perspective. You will find maybe pieces of truth here, truth here, truth here. Notice that when you're in a religion, though, that's not allowed. You're like afraid. Why are you afraid to do that? Because it could be sinful. No, honey. Hello. You were given free will to check others. You have free will. Use your free will to improve yourself. To learn some information and check how it makes you vibrate. No, they don't want you to do that. No. Machiwa. Why not? You guys, see, notice we're telling you, you don't have to believe. They tell you, you must believe. Or else. Dang. Can you guys visualize a lake? Not a pool, not a pond, but a lake of fire. Forever. Can you visualize it? Wow, that's a dark visualization, creation. Exactly. Is there wickedness? Of course. Is God real? Is Lucifer real? Are angels real? Yes, but not from that point of view. There's other points of view. An angel, let's go through them. What is an angel? Is it a race that was supposed to be God's creation to serve mankind? We don't agree, sorry. Here's the reality. It's made of multi-dimensional frequency bandwidths. They're not physical, they're energy vibration. And throughout those vibrations are different levels of God, different levels of consciousness. And one of those levels is called angel. And humans are down here on Earth right now, and then the angels are up here. But they use stargates. Remember I told you Sirius planet stargate and go to Earth? So they use stargates and come to your planet. Hi. And so do the bad guys, the fallen ones. So, and it's like, whoa, you don't see the guardian angelic holy grail. You don't see the fallen, what you say, the dark illuminated ones. Okay? Most of you don't believe they exist. It's a conspiracy theory. Okay. Well, they're here and at this, they're the ones in power and control and changing things. So, and there's all kinds of whispers and suggestions that they're real. There's a lot of people talking about these beings. Hello, they're not 100% human. That's truly what they are, you guys. They're not completely human. And they're in power. So, the not completely human indigos come in. The Christed ones come in. And because we're talking law of one, we're talking unity consciousness. And Christ consciousness, okay? So, we come in, we got the agreements, serving a Emerald Order agreement, representing them, representing the Guardian Alliance, and hopefully we wake up in our lifetime, because you could stay asleep. A sleeping indigo is not helping nobody. You have some drama, you have some intelligence, but you never wake up, so what's up, indigo? Wake up, indigo. Wake up, vatos. You are. Some of you are waking up. Yeah. Yeah. That's right, man. Homies. Christ gangsters, vatos. What's up? Yeah. Peace and harmony, man. What's up? When you saw some video called Christ Consciousness, you probably didn't think it was going to be anything like this, right? And I know, I'm sure some of you think I'm just crazy and or it's just new age bullshit or it's just all made up. Or I've seen those comments too. So, okay. Jesheua. It's code, baby. And it hits you and you feel it. You'll feel the code. Well, every time you say the word never, never, who's telling you never? Who's telling you something what you can and can't do? Think about that. Remember, you God's sovereign free. Remember, God's a unified field. Remember, we're living in a hologram. Remember, this is just energy and consciousness. And it's, if you think about yourself being outside the hologram, you're just living in an eternal gestalt of consciousness. your collectives of consciousness just freaking, you're completely in tune with God. There is no distortion. In those levels, there's no distortion. There's only room for growth to become larger gestalt. There's no one telling you what you should and shouldn't do. There's no one saying you shouldn't never do this, never do that. Dude, it's just consciousness, man. It's just God just out there experiencing shit and creating shit. God is creating levels of itself and exploring. It's like you think of God being omniscient and it knows all, but it knows all only because it is creating all. But it keeps creating more. God keeps experiencing more. So you think of these holograms as God doing this on a grand level, on a multi-collective level. God is just freaking exploring itself. It's only parts of God and little fragments of itself that think this rules. There's no rules to God. There's no evil or good to God. It's just what starts to propagate inside a hologram field that's dimensionalized and polarized. And every lower level is a forgetfulness. Each level is less memory, less energy, and that's the way God created it. That's how God is experiencing individuality. That's how some being can chop itself up. It's like you take a crystal and shatter, and it drops, and pieces of it go everywhere. It's still a crystal. It's still made of crystal. It's still part of this crystal. God projected itself into a hologram. It's fragmented. It's still God. It's still pieces of God. It didn't do nothing wrong, nothing right, because it's all this same being exploring itself. You're God. You're a piece. You're a fragment. You are the whole. You know how they say a hologram, you could shatter it and every piece will replicate the whole? That's the concept of God. You're describing God. God fragmented itself, fractalized itself, you could say. Piecemealed. It's like, whoa, let's just project myself into these fields. And there's little areas that do this to my consciousness. I create this hologram to do this to my consciousness. God created it the way God wanted it. God wanted to polarize. God wanted to fragment. So, there's no good and evil. There is no wrong and right. It's not so fun to think about that in our third dimension of reality of a hologram. We think, wow, those beings are mean. That person's evil. Hello, when you go out, ninth dimension, 10th dimension, 11th dimension, 12th dimension, when you keep going out to 13th, 14th, and 15th, and then into the Polaric Ascended Master, and then the Triadic, and then Polaric, and then Akkadic, and then back to Source God. Or go backwards. There you are, little human. Oh, there you are, God. Oh, there you are, little insect. Oh, there you are, God. Oh, there you are, little Hitler. Oh, there you are, God. It's all God. It's all in the field of God. So maybe expand your identity. Expand your awareness of itself, of yourself, of oneself. You will see the self in all, eventually, Parts of you do already now. Know these things. Realize these things. And what's interesting, you being a multidimensional consciousness, you can do it. You now, as a 3D, can become aware of your 4D. Wow, now you're not a 3D anymore. Now you're becoming 4th dimensional aware. Oh, you start activating this. Now, while you're in 3D, now you'll be a 5D human. Maybe you'll be a third eye awakened 6D human in the 3D. You see how this works? Spiritual awakening is a process of remembering who you are. If you're separate, if you're stuck in reincarnation like this, because that's what most humans are doing, because they're being blocked from moving on. You're denying yourself your memory and your future evolution. You're being blocked from your future evolution and your memory. You're blocked and shut off from this memory. Until somehow, some way, you get beyond the DNA block. So when a bunch of starseeds show up, hello, and teach you these principles that hey, you're God, hey, your DNA is blocked, hey, these aliens are trying to harm your species, hey, that's what we do, you guys, as indigos. We awaken ourselves and try to offer awakening to others. Thank you for being here, holy vatos. Yeah. Thank you for being on my live. I think I should probably wrap it up because it's approaching 9 p.m. my time. Some of you're probably like midnight, right? 11 midnight. I show up now during the week at least 3 times. It seems like 2 or 3 lives a week. Officially every Tuesday. So if you want to plan for a live, just plan for my Tuesday live. Otherwise, check around this time and maybe I'll be live because I just kind of like go by feel sometimes. Tonight I felt like it. And so me and Shining Light came on, and thanks for hanging out with us. Thank you, Shining Light. You're awesome, sister. It's awesome to meet some of you. It's awesome to be awakening with you, guys, girls, guys. To our higher parts, to our higher body forms, our higher angelics, our higher archangels, awakening to our avatars. What's up, Christ One? What's up, Holy Ones? Let's bring in more of that code, okay? Keep on learning. Keep on practicing. Yeah. Do the blue flame, do the Maharaj shield, learn your chakra, learn your parts, learn the Kathara, learn Kalanta. What's up? Love yourself, you guys. Love others. Peace. Don't judge. Just love. Yeah. Unconditionally. You might just improve your health and mind and relationships, and wow, your ascension. I love you guys. Joyful Jennifer. I'm Kevin. Shining Light. Amber Whitman. Yeah, Divine Soul. That's right, outside of time and space. Space-time is there in the hologram, but realize you can see beyond space-time. Blessings, bless. Yeah. Golden Palace. You see that Golden Palace, Jose? Take care, you guys. I'll see you on a flip-flop, right? This maybe wasn't your favorite topic, but we talk about all kinds of stuff, you guys. So come on back, learn some stuff about the aliens, learn some more stuff about angels, about not just Earth, but Tara, Gaia, Aramentana. Learn about more about the angelic, guardian angelic nations, because there's certain races of us, there's certain levels of DNA. We got the Emerald Sun DNA. That was Jesheua. We have double Diamond Sun DNA. We got Diamond Sun DNA. We got Black Sun, Belil Sun. We got Ruby Sun. We got all kinds of DNA. All kinds of different consciousness, and it's complex, you guys. It's a lot of it is technical as well. So, but it's not like it's impossible. When there's a will, there's a way. Bring your spiritual will. Tell yourself that you're going to learn these knowledge. You're going to learn these techniques. Tell yourself, speak it. Put the intention there. I am knowledge. I am remembering my soul. I am connecting to my oversoul, my avatar. Put these words out there. Speak these things. Start that way. That's like a priest. That's a lifestyle. Not just something you do on Christmas or Easter. It's something that's part of your daily routine. Cleansing, high vibing, meditating, eating good for your body and spirit, and loving people. That's how you find happiness and health and joy. We'll start having communities like that. We'll start having belief systems like that. We'll start raising the consciousness and healing it, the planet and us. Remember, there's a bifurcation. Some of us are going this way. Some of us are going another way. Peace. Namaste. I am Christ. I am Christ. I am Christ.